because, you know, each of us interact in such a way that when one of us does leave, it really does affect the rest of us in ways that it's really difficult to imagine until they're actually retire or move off to other things. And so it's hard to imagine, it's hard to imagine that Doc Dee wouldn't always be there, and right next to her would be Carolyn. And, you know, Lambert, I see Lambert every Sunday, but, you know, it's difficult for me to imagine that, you know, you won't be there, you know, walking around campus and things. And Ralph, it's hard to imagine for me not getting yelled at by Ralph. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to that. You know, maybe we can find out. But anyway, it really is. It's a part of life. It's in the cycle of an organization. It's part of it that really stinks, in some of my opinion. You know, but you know, it's just that's part of life and natural. So. Carolyn, why don't you come up here and just, I know you probably have some things to say. You can have a rebuttal if you'd like. So this is your chance to get back at Nancy, if you would choose to do so.
Well, I've been very grateful and thankful to be here, and I give God all the praise. And I feel like He started me on this journey and knew where I was going to be from the time I was born, while my father was a student here. I'm pastoring a Nazarene church in Franklin, Mass. Like my husband Wayne over here, and my son-in-law Don Fisher, who's pastor at Calvary Chapel in Rainham. And I have 2 wonderful children and spouses and 6 grandchildren. One on his way to Southeast Asia on Sunday morning early, and another one just came back from Mexico, so that's showing my age a little bit. But yes, I love walking the paths here, and I still plan on, I only live 2 blocks away, and so when it's beautiful like this, you may see me just walking around the paths. And I told Jim Cameron at some point my goal is to try to at least catch up with him. But I don't know if that's ever possible. It's going to be possible. He just, and he goes down our street about this time every day. So, yeah, I may have to talk to him, or, well, I never would catch up with Chris Poper. I can't believe what he has accomplished in 5 years with all these marathons and things. And I want to thank Nancy especially for putting up with me and being my, not just my, you know, the athletic director over me, but co-worker, a good friend and mentor, and somebody I can go and talk to when I need to. And but she's going to be around the other block, so I'll just walk over to her. We'll have porch time. Our porch is always open. We have a sign on our porch. What's it say? Morse. No, you're welcome to sit on our porch. We have 2 rocking chairs there, and somebody said the other day to the neighbor, what would they do if we went out and just sat on their porch? And he says the guy would probably come out and talk your ear off. So thank you, everyone.
Lambert, it's your chance, man. Really? Yeah, it is. You could play with a keyboard if you'd like. Try speaking.
Yeah, I'll work on it. I didn't realize I have 5 opportunities to say things. It has been great. I have said the same thing in chapel almost that I'd say first here. I think I'll pick up first on Carolyn's mentioning walking around the garden here as it is. And I just let you know that to my wife, I said, yeah, I call it the Garden of Eden. More love affairs begin here than imagined. And I even know about one of them. It's long lasted, but in any case. So the Garden of Eden has been great. But it has been an absolute privilege to be at ENC. I had in my letter of resignation pointed out, I thank God certainly for everything. I thank my wife Lois for her support all these years, and all of the administration certainly, and the faculty and my colleagues. I have just loved being together with all of them and working with them, and especially the students. And the thing I wanted to say most is I appreciate the fact that ENC is a Christian college where I felt free to express myself, say something about good and evil, heaven forbid, or never mind, forbid. They'd forbid it for sure. But in any case, it has been my privilege, and I've really appreciated it. It has been an opportunity that I will treasure forever, to have been able to witness to students and feel that I was producing something of a positive sort and a lasting type of input. So it's been very great. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with the students, and a real blessing to me personally. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, that's for sure. And it has been wonderful, and I couldn't be more delighted to have had my time spent like this. And again, I'm thankful to God. I had no idea this is how my life would go, but His hand was so obviously in the whole thing. So many thanks, all the best, and God bless everybody.
You're up, Doc.
I'm going to go after Ralph.
You can, if you like.
Well, I was told something.
Oh. You gotta be flexible here, Doc.
This actually was for the other night, and I was told I was to talk about Carolyn this afternoon and Monday night, and so I split things down. So let me read this. This is from my computer. I have a laptop that looks like this. Carolyn Joyce Morse, in recognition of outstanding service and commitment, Administrative Assistant for the Athletic Department, 90 to 2015. Woman of God, total involvement in the Church of the Nazarene, keen intellect with an eye for detail, great expectations of self and others, appreciates athletics' historical legacy. She has a love of travel and camping, gracious hostess, ENC ambassador, caring heart for students, supportive wife, mother, and grandmother. Thank you for 25 years of service. I was determined to make her cry, and it didn't happen. Oh boy, what can I say? I didn't know we were supposed to be making speeches about this, but again, I am very, very appreciative for all that I've been able to accomplish and do at ENC, and for the absolute privilege of being able to work here. I do consider it a privilege. I think that each of us who has a position in this campus has a responsibility to develop ourselves to the greatest possible way that we glorify God. I think that's the only way we can give to our students and give back, and I really, really believe that. And along those lines, I've tried to be able to do that. In the process of so doing, though, I think that many times my family has suffered from it because I've been here more times than I've been home. One of them's here. I should never say anything in front of them, but I really do appreciate all that they've sacrificed along the way because they've had to do for themselves. So thanks to each of you who made this possible.
You know, over 10 years ago when Cheryl and I came to work at ENC, you guys were institutions, you know, much like Dr. Cameron was, Lowell Hall, the pillars, and those of you who've been here longer, you have other pillars that you'll remember, and anchors, if you will, of thoughts of ENC. And as you go forward in your careers or your next careers or retirement, I wish you well, and may God use you in ways beyond what He's even used you here. And you have been such an integral part of my life that it's going to be difficult to see you guys go. But I know that God has called you to move on other places. And so with that, we rejoice with you. But thank you for your influence and your example and your commitment to Christian higher education. And You know, when we were on the deputation trail, you know, people would say, well, we pray for you and those kinds of things, and it is, I'm totally convinced that we will not know the influence you have had on the number of people you have until you get to heaven and someone says, I remember you, what you did, you know, that example you were to me, and those things. And so for the rest of us newbies, we want to salute you and what you have left for us to follow, and the foundation that you have continued to build on others. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you for what you've done and the example you've set to us. Timothy, we have another person who's not retiring, but we're moving on to another thing, and so I'm going to pass it off to Dr. Luker.